Hi, good afternoon and welcome. My name is Erich McMillan McCall, and welcome to Project One Voice Live. So, I'm so excited that you decided to spend this time with us as we talk about everything that has to do with Black excellence, Black theater, Black dance, Black people, and the fine and performing arts. So, to find out more about all the wonderful work that we do here at Project One Voice, go to our website at project1voice.org. That's project1voice.org. Now, there's so much that we want to talk about, so we're just going to hop right into this conversation. So, our first guest is someone that all of you should know, and if you don't know, I urge you to Google and find out more about this extraordinary artist. We're going to chat with Nigel Smith, who is a Bessie Award-winning director and performance artist. He is currently the director of New York City's Obie Award-winning The Flea. So, Tony, can you bring Nigel Smith in? Hi, Nigel. How are you?
Hi, Erich. I'm doing great. Good to see you today.
It's always great to see you. Hey, I'm loving this shirt. I'm loving the heart in the background.
Yeah, we just had a show load out from upstairs, and these hearts came out at the end of the show, so we thought, let's bring them into the office.
So look, I have nothing but love for what you do and the work that you do at the Flea. So help us right now know a little bit more about the Flea.
Yeah, so the Flea was founded in 1996 by Jim Simpson and his wife Sigourney Weaver with two of their friends as a downtown experimental theater to do work that wasn't about commerciality, wasn't about going to Broadway, it was about what was at the center of the artist's heart and the artist's questions. And it also had a program for early career artists to come in and practices of directing and acting and playwriting. And that, it lived on from 1996. But then in the wake of George Floyd, those murders, I was artistic director and had been artistic director for a couple of years. And the company had begun to diversify and to have more Blackness and people of color in it. And there was a real opportunity and call for shifting the theater. And we met it. It was very exciting. We refounded ourselves. So folks who were part of the previous history, they moved on, and Nona Hendricks came in as the chair of our board, my dear friend, Mama Nona. And with our incredible staff and that board and some great partners, we actually refounded the institution with a new mission to support and invest in experimental art by Black, brown, and queer artists. And so here we are today, living in that.
Wow, I am so loving this new mission. So tell me, I know that this was influenced by this post George Floyd moment. Tell us more about the impetus of this mission change.
Yeah, so I mean, like the Flea was an institution that held multiple stories, multiple ways of being, and the artists of color specifically, were saying, hey, how do we make a place where we get to live out in our fullness and our selfness without the white gaze, without the white, the white sight or white opinions around it. And how can our theater be more equitable and more just? And where do we create a place that, Black and brown folks and queer folks can actually thrive on our own terms? And we really, got into the nitty gritty of it with our consultant CJAM, who came in to lead mission and vision, and some former resident artists came in and were part of the process of envisioning what is the deep impact this theater could have, and really writing many of the structures that were prohibitive to Black and brown and queer folks, really taking a stab at experimental art on their own terms. And so we really thought long and hard and in community about how we could take it. Look, we have a 3-theater venue in Lower Manhattan. This is a rarity.
Yeah,
we got a home, a building, and there is not one home that is dedicated specifically to this intersection. And so we said, look, I live in that intersection. So many of our artists do. Our board chair does. How do we create that space and invite people in? And it's been a wonderful, wild ride. We reopened our building with a house party. We're like, let's get rid of that old funky, gala, sit down at a table. We opened up the whole building, and DJ Reborn was spinning, and Miss Lily's brought amazing Caribbean food. We had incredible performances, Lisa Jesse Peterson, the illustrious Blacks, to just, signal a new direction for our company. I'm very excited.
Wow. This is Nigel. This is all so exciting. So, so June is right around the corner. We're at Memorial Day weekend. June is not only a Black Music Month, but it's also the month that we celebrate Juneteenth, or we commemorate. I don't know. I don't quite know what the vernacular to use, because it's a celebration, it's a commemoration, it's a remembrance, it's so many things. It's a moment of empowerment. So tell us, what does the Flea have planned for Juneteenth?
Yeah, so this is our second year of Juneteenth public art commissions. Last year we decided, look, we want to practice liberation through the practice of art and the commissioning of art. So we went to 5 artists and said, what is a dream work that you want to make as a Black artist today living in New York City? And where do you want it to happen? All we ask is that it happens once on Juneteenth, that it be free and accessible to the public, and that we are able to tell people that it's going on. So we give them the money, and then they have total control. This is about Black artists having total liberation. So they get their commission. They decide, well, I'm going to take it all for myself and do a solo piece, or I'm going to have these different artists come in, and we're going to make this work. So this year we've commissioned Shannon Judson, who is the artistic director of Urban Bushwomen, one of the premier Black dance companies in our nation. She is making a work called Time's Up, a liberation ritual. It is a beautiful dance to take place in the Roger and Tilden Community Garden in Brooklyn, a partnership with the Haitian Cultural Exchange. Shannon is just an exquisite dancer and thinker and considerer of that intersection of womanhood, femininity, Blackness, and it's time is up. Time to be at the center. Let's get liberated.
Yes.
So that's the first commission. And then James Scruggs, incredible brother, downtown experimental artist. He has this project called Issue Man. And Issue Man ain't afraid. He go out to the streets and tell it like it is and invite you into it. So Issue Man is taking up the cause of our intense history around race in this country. And he's out on the steps of the New York Public Library, engaging folks in conversations as a historical figure. And then he puts $20 in your hand.
Really?
Here's $20. Have a difficult conversation with someone about race. This will buy the cup of coffee. And then if you report back, I'll send you another $20. So it's like looking at this intersection between storytelling and commerce and what motivates us to actually dig in deep,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got the fabulous Evelyn Noel Green, social activist, director, choreographer. She's making a collective water ritual in Marcus Garvey Park on that day, where folks are invited to bring their water and water vessels for a beautiful Black queer experience in the park. And I love this one. We are partnering with the Fire Island Drag Pageant, the Minx Juneteenth pageant this year, with their Black and Brown Equity Coalition that is all about celebration and joy and Black expression. And so we're helping to make that happen. And finally, to open and close the week of festivities. So we think of it both as a commemoration and a celebration, because we are in a continual process of liberation. And it is in the practice of art and community that we, remind ourselves, embody, and be liberated. So I lead this walk from the African Burial Ground Monument. It starts right in the monument. It is a consideration of our history and our legacy and the worth of Black folks, in particular Black men. And it takes us through Lower Manhattan in this historic space that we helped to build and create, and our worth inside of it. And it's led by Talu Green, a phenomenal djembe player. I mean, brother, when you hear his drum, you're like, what's up? What's that?
Wow.
I mean, we have people, I did it last year. People would join. They said, I heard the drum. I just had to join.
Of
I just had to
course.
get on board.
Yeah.
And that walk brings us back to the Flea Theater where we have a liberation libation in the backyard.
Wow. Look, Nigel, I love anything that amplifies and gives agency to our voices, our collective voices. So I'm loving this programming. Um, you know, so every mission, I mean, every artistic director brings a bit of himself or herself or their self to the conversation. So let's find out a little bit more about you. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in rural North Carolina as a young boy, east of Charlotte. And then as a teenager, early teens, we moved up to Detroit, where we had a lot of family. And it was the woods of North Carolina where I learned to play and was in the Pentecostal church, learned the spirit. And then it was in Detroit where I really learned about theater and the making
Wow.
of live performance and, of course, music. I mean, I played the trumpet then, and it's just a great music town.
Yeah, of course. All that wonderful Motown music. There's so many great artists that were born there and have done so many incredible things. Tell me, Nigel. So you're from Detroit. What school did you go to in Detroit?
I went to Notre Dame High School up in Harper Woods. I
Um,
laughed because my mom was like, "We sending you to a private school so you don't get beat up." And she did. She worked 3 jobs.
oh wow.
She would open the daycare in the morning,
Hmm.
and then she worked at McDonald's in the middle of the day, and then there was a little ice cream shop that she would work on the weekends to make sure that we had the education we needed.
Yeah, it sounds so much like my mom. My mom did the exact same thing. My mom was a domestic, and she made like about $20 a week or $30 a week, and that's how she fed her family of four. She and my dad were separated, so so a huge shout out to all the Black women out there who are keeping these families together and holding them up.
Mm.
They are the ones who are providing agency and for young minds, young creative minds like yourself. So I'm really excited about that connection to your mom. So there are a lot of extraordinary Detroiters out there this season on Broadway. I mean, you've got Michael R. Jackson, who just won the Pulitzer for A Strange Loop. You've got Dominique Morisseau, who had Skeleton Crew and also Confederates in New York City, but again, she was on Broadway last year with Ain't Too Proud. Tell me what it's like being a part of that proud Detroit legacy.
I know, it's so interesting because I love both of them, Dominique and Michael. I mean, they're incredible storytellers. I mean, Dominique, who is like telling our people stories of Detroit like they are. I mean, you go into the theater and you see our essence, you smell our essence, you feel our essence. It's right that she is a chronicler of our stories, and that filled with the joy and even the trials and heartaches that we have, but about our community and our family and coming together. I think that sister is so special.
Yeah.
And then you got Michael R. Jackson, who is like, I am a big queer man, Black man. I have not seen my story at the center of a musical, and dares to put it there in all of its complexity. What does it
Yeah.
mean to be this kind of person and to be in a predominantly white field? What does it mean to be in sort of the shadow of Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry's huge mark making as an artist? And I mean, even my grandma said to me, when you gonna become a Tyler Perry? And Michael deals with this with such joy and incisiveness and wit. I mean, this brother is so funny. And his play, his musical, currently playing on Broadway, A Strange Loop. I just saw it again the other night. I saw it off Broadway. I saw it on Broadway. I'm gonna see it again next week. It is just really special, and just it's art at its truest core, because it is both something that you're like, oh, this is beautiful, it's lovely, it's entertaining in moments, but it is also truth and truth
Yeah.
telling and
Yeah.
rough. And so you got to talk to somebody afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of them.
I've seen A Strange Loop twice, and I've seen it from different vantage points. I was there for opening. I was up in the balcony, and then I saw it a couple of days ago with Troyan Belsario. She came to the show the other day, and we saw it. I saw it from the orchestra, so it gave me this really intimate feeling with the show. And Michael has crafted this musical that is just like you said. It's so it's intelligent. It speaks to the Black queer experience in a way that we have not seen or heard it before. And the structure of this musical is absolutely breathtakingly extraordinary. So I can't say enough. But I'm thinking about how much the programming that you're doing at the Flea for Juneteenth, how much it is echoing the sentiments of what A Strange Loop is bringing to the this national and New York centric conversation. So tell us more. How were you in any way inspired by when you saw A Strange Loop off Broadway? Did that somehow inspire this change in mission for the Flea and the programming that you have coming up in June for Juneteenth?
Yeah, I tell you, it's our lived experience. You know, I've known Michael since I think 2008, and when he says he's been working on this show since that long, he's been working on it that long. I think he started in 2006. You know, and I know what how difficult it was for him to try to find a home for that work, for the kind of bravery it took in the field to get behind that work. You know, I love this play and have championed it around the city. Now we're a small downtown theater, so we couldn't do a Broadway size play.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have done it myself. But you know, those conversations we would have and continue to have. I mean, we see theater together all the time about what does it mean to be someone at the intersection of experimentation and Blackness and queerness. Yes, that was inspirational. Because we deserve spaces where we can be authentically ourselves, where we can hang and kiki and make that art that no one has seen yet. You know, because there were plenty of people who were like, "Oh, that's not I can't sell that. I can't do it." And look, the brothers on Broadway with what, 11 Tony nominations,
12
Tony nominations. Look,
Yeah, it's the most Tony nominated of all shows this season.
Yes. And so, I mean, that's what the Flea is here for. You know, is to allow artists to take that risk and to make that work that they're most called to make on their terms. Because you know, I believe in each field, you look to the folks to say, okay, where should I go? What stories do I need to know about? You know, we're working with this queer artist from Mexico right now who is really interested in the history and legacy of the intimate spaces where queer people would meet in the past, and no one's telling those stories. And here he is doing it in this wonderfully inventive new way. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Wow. So Nigel, tell our audience, our viewers, how they can find out more information about the wonderful work you're doing at the Flea, and how can they get those free tickets to your Juneteenth events?
Yeah. www.theflea.org. That's where you find out everything. Join the mailing list, and we'll let you know about everything and when you can come and join us. I mean, our Juneteenth festivities this year are from June 11th to the 19th.
Great. Thank you, Nigel. But before you leave, now you said you were from Detroit. Now our next guest is Zahira Sultan. She is the current president of the BlackTheatre Network. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they're having their conference in the city of Detroit this July. I don't know if you've ever been to a BTN conference, but I'm sure they'd love to have you there.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the conference this July. I'm so glad that Quesahiro is making it happen in the city of dreams, Detroit, for all the great art happening there and the Black artists converging. Oh,
fantastic. Then I will see you in Detroit at the BTN conference. So I cannot wait.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you so much, Nigel, for joining us. So everyone, go to theflea.org for information about how you can be a part of these really exciting Juneteenth events happening at the Flea. So Nigel, thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Great. Bye-bye. Wow. You know, I love anytime we have this opportunity to chat with people that are creating new pathways for us. I mean, Nigel's been a great friend, a collaborator over these many years, and it's so wonderful to see what's happening with at the Flea. And I love this new mission. I love that it's about celebrating the voices of Black, Brown, and queer people. It's really inclusive. It's creating equity and this sense of belonging, which I think is the word that that sort of encompasses all of that as we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion. But this sense of belonging, I think that's the anchor of what is happening for the Flea's Juneteenth commemoration / celebration. So, Tony, up next we have the incredible Zheerah Sultan, who is the current president of the Black Theatre Network. Is Zahira available? Zahira, there you are. How are you?
I am wonderful, wonderful. I enjoyed listening to the last listening to the last
Nigel?
conversation. Yes, to Nigel. We have something else in common besides being from Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
My family is also Pentecostal.
Wow.
Yes. So
now, look, I've known you all these years, and I never knew that you were from a Pentecostal background.
originally, yes.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So Zahira, you're in Detroit right now, right?
I am.
And you're planning for that Black Theatre Network conference that's coming up when?
It is coming up July 24th through the 27th.
Great. Fantastic. So before we jump into all things BTN, Black Theatre Network, can you give us a little background information about the Black Theatre Network? How was it founded and what is its mission?
So the Black Theatre Network was actually founded in 1986 by a group of educators who came together to support each other. They were having trouble getting tenure, and so they came together to support each other and build a network so that they could make sure that everyone had what they needed, because they found some challenges in getting tenure back then.
Mm-hmm.
And it began as that, but then it blossomed with more people coming in, more artist practitioners, we have a student program. I'm just so excited. Excuse me if I trip over my words, it's because I'm so full and excited about them laying this foundation and about the future of Black theater.
Yeah. I mean, that was what's so great about the conversation I just had with Nigel. I mean, this having these authentic places where our voices, our Black creative voices can blossom, can reside, and just do all the brilliant things that they were meant to do. They can really see explore the pathways that the ancestors have provided for us to move forward. Can you tell us what is being planned for the actual conference this year?
So, being in Detroit, we are celebrating Detroit artists. We're going to have a day where we come to the spirit of Detroit and celebrate artists that are on Broadway, like Shantae Adams, she performed for Dominique Morisseau,
Mm-hmm.
Skeleton Crew, Angela Burchette. We are having Marilyn, a famous teacher who helped nurture these new artists who are getting all the awards. Her name is Marilyn McCormick. We are celebrating Michael Jackson, also Dominique, and Ron Simons.
Oh, wow.
That is our first day. I'm sorry. You know how I get.
Oh, no.
When I get excited, I just jump in and start talking.
No, let's go over that list of people. So Angela Burchette is someone we did a little background information for you. She and I did a production of Once on This Island at the Meadowbrook Theater, I think in Detroit. It's in Auburn Hills. And I knew her. She's an extraordinary performer, but I also saw her in the Clark Sisters movie. She's not only an absolutely phenomenal singer, but she's an incredible actress. So I love this lineup. I love please remind me of the teacher at it's Cass Tech, right? That she's a part
Yes,
of.
at Cass Tech.
Yeah,
Marilyn McCormick, she is the star maker. Yeah.
yeah, and
Dominique actually has a connection to her too, as well.
yeah, I know that there was a great story on CBS Sunday Morning about her and all the work that she had done, all the students that she had that come up through her her tenure at the school. So I've known about her for quite a while. I think also during Skeleton Crew, I think they brought her to New York City so that she could see Dominique's two plays that were running at the same time, because at the time, I think Ain't Too Proud was still on Broadway, and Skeleton Crew was also playing at the same time. So she got a chance to see one of her students in two big, huge Broadway productions. So I love that you're celebrating Detroiters and the legacy of Detroiters in the Black theater legacy. So that's really fantastic. So please tell us more about what's in store for us at the BTN conference.
Let me share one more thing about Miss McCormick, Mrs. McCormick. She also received a Tony Award for theater education. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I think I knew that as well, but thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah.
So that is the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, we are going to the world premiere of Hastings Street. Hastings Street is a famous place in Detroit where Detroit artists went and they celebrated each other. They had performers there. It was late urban renewal, later tour down the street. They also called it Black Bottom. Detroit's Black Bottom. So we will see, we'll have a musical presentation for you. And everybody I talk to, especially the seasoned people, are excited about this play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of our conference.
Oh, wow. Now, is there any relationship during this conference to Wayne State University? Because I know Wayne State, there's a connection with Michael Dinwiddie, who was a past president. There's a connection to Reuben Santiago Hudson. There's a connection to Lord Richards. Bianca, Belicia, oh, please give me her last name. Hines?
You have to say all three of the.
Yes.
Belicia Charnel Hines.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, is there any connection during the time that you're in Detroit to that incredible university?
That is our day too. Remember I said we're jam-packed, but there's another connection to Wayne State University. It is also my alma mater. So
wow.
Yeah, and Detroit has birthed so many artists and so much resilience. So that's our day too. We have a program that we are reinstating called the Marvin Sims Institute. Now at the Marvin Sims Institute, it is a teacher's day where we will teach the teachers, or the teachers can come in and they're learning about Black theater arts. We'll also, at the Marvin Sims Institute, Kathy Perkins will also be a part of it with the new play that she had on Broadway that I think it just closed. Yeah. And Dominique will give a speech there.
Well, and just
something like a master's class.
Yeah, and just so that our audience know who Kathy Perkins is. Kathy Perkins is an African-American lighting designer. She had her Broadway debut this season with Trouble in Mind, directed by Charles Randolph Wright and starring LaChance, who I think just won the Drama Desk award, I think, for Trouble in Mind. I think I'm correct in that. And she's also nominated for a Tony for that role. So, and Kathy was also, she wrote a book. It's a collection of Alice Childress's plays. She interviewed Alice Childress, but she's one of the leading authorities on Alice Childress and her work. So that's who Kathy Perkins is for our listening or for our viewing audience. So come on, tell me more.
Yeah, I am so excited, and it's so much. So sometimes I'm glad that you know some of this information, so you can help me out, because Kathy is really phenomenal too. Yeah. And also on that day with our Marvin Sims Institute, Now, these are some of the marquee events. The classes are phenomenal as well. We have C.A. Lyons that is going to be, it's a play by Sahai Bear. We have Flippin', which people will get a chance to see. It's like a play and a workshop. We are going to also honor at our luncheon, we will honor Ron Simons, and also Dominique will receive the Apple Award. And the Apple Award is a special award by the Nederlanders. So she'll be presented with that award. And that is our day. And the performance in the evening will be Pretty Fires.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And
directed by Gregory Horton.
Great. So you mentioned a name that I want everyone to know about. You mentioned Ron Simons. Now, Ron Simons is a beloved producer here in New York City. Last season he had Thoughts of a Colored Man on the boards. He was the lead producer on Ain't Too Proud, and he's also a co-lead, I think, on the current revival of For Color Girls. So
yes.
We love everything Ron Simons. I tell you, last year as you know, we honored him with the Trailblazer Award at Project One Voice Honors. So that's an incredible persona that you have right there. A wonderful theater maker on Broadway and beyond. Yeah. So
yes, he is just phenomenal. It's like you just can't say Ron Simons. It's Ron Simons, producer, director. He has so many accolades, so much wonderful works that he has done.
Yeah. So we're down to day 2. Is there a day 3? Or did we finish everything in day 2?
We did Monday, Tuesday. Yes. And do we have a day 3? Well, day 3 is a wrap up, which is which is wonderful. We'll share. We have BlackTheatre Review, so we're going to have a little kind of interview we'll share what we have done. Also, we are looking forward to the Black Sea Project. Now, the last day, our wrap up day, since our conference is entitled Scripting the Flip, the whole premise behind the conference is to share how we create our own narratives. So during that, we will begin, of course, with our history. And Mr. Woody King Jr. will be part of the conference.
Also,
with the history. Also from Detroit. Yes, Detroit will be in the house. And then
let me add, by way of Alabama, because I'm from Alabama. So Alabama is in the house. Yeah.
All right, Alabama and Detroit.
Exactly.
Yes, and we will end with looking towards the future. And I love this conference because we are coming together to discuss how we plan our future. Because normally until today, we have been listening to other people's narratives of Black theater, but we have a voice, and we will create a blueprint of how we see Black theater beyond the 21st century.
Wow. You know, that's one of the things that I love talking about, this concept of Afrofuturism. You know, how do we see ourselves in the future? I often say to people, we as Black people or people of color, or however you want to say it, we deal with microaggressions and trauma every single day of our lives. So dealing with that past and that present, it doesn't always allow time for us to see the future. And I think that's a huge part of the conversation, is how do we see ourselves in a year, 5, 10, 100 years? I just think that's such an important aspect of moving us forward, that we need to see ourselves in the future. So I'm so glad that is a part of your conference. So Zahira, tell us now, are there any special offers or deals that we can take part in to help us to encourage us all to be a part of the incredible BTN conference in Detroit?
So yes, there's an incentive before July 1st for individual tickets. I believe it's the price will be cheaper. It's like $250. There's a special price for retirees and also for students, and a discount for the super savers, which is one teacher or one leader and 4 students to come to the conference, and an organizational discount. One thing too is because Detroit is going to be jumping those weeks. We have several conferences coming in. There's a special discounted rate for the hotel, and that is, I think it's $169, but you have to give the code of BTN. That will give you the discount hotel. We will be at the Doubletree Hotel for most of the conference, and then we're also going to go to Wayne State University. We are going to the NAMD Theater, which is, it's not a theater, it's a museum where we can see where our participants can view Transitions, which is the story of 200 years of African American theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's this. I look, I cannot wait. And you were telling me earlier that if you buy your ticket before June 1st or July 1st?
July 1st. July 1st.
And what does that afford you if you buy before July 1st?
So you'll receive it at a special discounted rate of $250. And you know what's really, what Black Theater Network hasn't really done? We haven't really raised our prices. We are the most economically sound, right? Conference, right? We try to make sure that it is affordable for our for people that want to come.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been to many conferences, BTN conferences, both in the odd year and the even year. And what's interesting about this year, your conference happens within the same year of the National Black Theater Festival, and you share space. Your conference usually happens, like, it overlaps with the festival every single year, but because of COVID, there was a switch. So instead of it being, correct me if I'm wrong, the festival was always on the odd years.
Yes.
And now it's on the even. So now you're sort of crossing, and you won't be at the festival this year. So just keep that in mind, people, that if you're thinking that this is going to be within the same space in Winston-Salem, it is not. You're going to have to go to Detroit for the BTN conference, and then you're going to have to go to Winston-Salem for the National Black Theater Festival, which is what I am going to do. I cannot wait to see both. Zahira, is there anything else you want to tell us about BTN? What's going on even past the conference? Or
Sure. And thank you for sharing that information, because we do normally, on the odd years, we go to Winston-Salem, but this year we promised to be in Detroit in 2020, and then the whole world stopped. So this is like a homegoing. We promised to be in Detroit, and we are looking forward to Detroit. Detroit is a very innovative city, and it is really taking off as far as the arts community is really growing, the Black arts community. And we want to show you all and invite people to come in and see the magic of Detroit. Yeah. Like, people don't understand the magic of Detroit. And since we had COVID also in the 2020, and also we still had parts of COVID in 2021. So the National Black Theater wasn't able to happen, and we were all looking forward to that too. So I am just excited about it. We are going to, I'm excited. I'm so happy to be home after 40 years. I am running around here. Detroit is famous for Verner's Pop, potato chips, and bumpy cake. And I can't wait to share my childhood memories and this wonderful experience with food here in Detroit. Food and the magic of Black artists, Motown. So yes, that's happening here,
Yeah. So just so that people know this, I mean, as you stated earlier, most people who aren't academics will ask, why would I go to this conference? Because I'm not an academic, but I think this conference is more than just a conference for academics. Tell us why, if we're not an academic, why we should be a part of the BTN conference.
Thank you for asking that question, Eric. It's also for practitioners, it's for students, it's for people, theater lovers, because we have everyone that submitted is not an academic, it's people who are practitioners submitted. We have plays going on. One thing that I forgot to mention, I'm so glad you brought this up. We have something called the Marvin Sims Institute. The Marvin Sims Institute, we also have Student Quest Monologue. The Student Quest Monologue is students coming from across this country to do their monologue and present. So it's an exciting event. And I am so glad that we have practitioners here, we have students here, we have educators, we are everything Black theater. And so that is why you should come.
Yeah. Look, that's one of our new mottos. Black theater is everything for everybody.
Right.
And I think you're going to find that out at the Black Theater Network Conference. So again, please tell us, when is the conference and where is it?
The conference is July 20th. The conference, let me tell you the title again, Scripting the Flip, Black Theater Act 3. It is July 24th through the 27th in Detroit, Michigan. Part of it is at the DoubleTree Hotel. We will have transportation to get you back and forth, and also Wayne State University and the Nambi Museum. Now you can go to our website, BlackTheatreNetwork.org. That's with theater with an RE, and you can register for the conference. One thing you shared about how we are moving forward too, and I want to mention, every month we have something called the Black Theater Review, and it's free and it's online. Come join us and listen to plays by phenomenal playwrights.
Yeah.
On the end of the month, every fourth week.
Zahira, thank you so much for being here. Look, just so you guys know, Zahira was a little nervous being here today, but I just told her, I said, we talk like this all the time on the phone. So just think this is like one of our conversations where we are trying to change the world as it relates to Black theater. So you did an excellent job. You look fantastic, as always. And I'm just so happy for your tenure as the current president of the Black Theater Network. I think they have an extraordinary leader who is going to move the institution, the organization forward in a really incredible way. So thank you for joining us. And I have my tickets already for the Black Theater Network conference. Awesome. And I think Nigel said he's going to be there as well, your fellow Detroiter. So
I look forward to seeing him. And thank you too, Eric. And thank you for the work that you're doing with Project One Voice. It is so needed. And I am glad I have had the opportunity to see your vision come into fruition. You are an amazing person. And I wish the best. I know the best is going to happen.
Oh, thank you.
Project One Voice.
Thank you. As I always say, the best is always yet to come. So, Zahira, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you at the conference in a couple of weeks. Okay.
See you. Bye.
Have a good one. Thank you. Wow. I mean, two extraordinary guests, two extraordinary events happening in this summer. You've got the Flea is doing an incredible Juneteenth celebration. So check that out at theflea.org. Please be sure also to check out the Black Theater Network Conference, which is going to be happening in July. You can go to BlackTheatreNetwork.org for that information. So there you have it. There's so much going on, not only in New York City, but across this entire country. So I hope that you all are supporting and promoting and engaging with Black theater, Black creativity in your part of the country. So if you're at a loss of where the Black creativity exists in your part of the country, please go to PROJECT1VOICE.org for information about where the HBCUs are, where Black dance companies are, where the Black museums are, and where the Black theaters are. It's on our website. You can go get that connect with that information at any time of the day or night. Our website is always open, of course, but please check that out. So before I leave, Tony, I want to talk about Project One Voice and some of the events that we have coming up this fall. I mean, I'm sorry, not this fall, but this summer. So as you know, Project One Voice does a 3-day event. So we begin on June 18th, 19th, and the 20th. So on June 18th, we will present Black Women and Shakespeare on June 18th. Now, that's a panel discussion with 3 extraordinary Black women talking about the journey of Black women and Shakespeare. Now, those panelists will be Dr. Monica Ndunu, who is Associate Professor of Theater at Dartmouth College, and she is the founding Executive Director of the Craft Institute, which convenes the International Black Theater Summit. Also joining her is Sherry Young, who is the founder and Executive Director of the African American Shakespeare Company. And lastly is joining those 2 ladies is, excuse me, Trezana Beverly. Now, Trezana Beverly was the first African-American actress to receive a Tony for Best Featured Actress in a Play for her performance in For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough, written by Ntozake Shange. On June 19th, which is Juneteenth and also Father's Day, we will present Project One Voice Honors. Now, Project One Voice Honors is a celebration of Black excellence in the fine and performing arts. So join us on the 18th for Black Women and Shakespeare, and on the 19th, Juneteenth, Father's Day, for Project One Voice Honors. And on June 20th, we have our 12th annual One Play, One Day event. Now, this year we will be reading from the Mississippi Delta by Dr. Ndesha Ida Mae Holland. And this stage reading is going to be directed by Dr. Indira Etwaru, who is the current executive director of the Steve Jobs Theater at Apple. So those are 3 extraordinary projects that we have coming this July, Black Music Month. Please join us. Go to the Project One Voice website, projectonevoice.org, for information about how you can be a part of these events. What's really fantastic about how we're doing One Play, One Day this year is we're doing it more in almost like a telethon. So Project One Voice is going to produce the reading here in New York City, and we're going to allow the Black theater community, the Black creative community to share this with their patrons and the lovers of their theaters. So as that production is being performed, there'll be information about how you can connect with Black theaters around the entire country, how you can support them, how you can engage with them, how you can help them stay alive, how you can help them stay vital. So that is one of the things I'm really, really excited about, how we're doing One Play, One Day 2022. Also, I want to chat with you about something that I think is really, really kind of extraordinary. And bear with me one second while I pull this up. We are doing an event that's called hashtag Claim Your Crown Sunday. Now, a crown, of course, we know the relationship of the word crown to royalty, but we also know that a crown is also your hair. It's also the hat that you may wear. It's it also has a relationship to the divine. So all of those aspects, all those definitions of a crown are a part of this hashtag Claim Your Crown Sunday. So let me read this to you. 3 years ago, California became the first state to pass a law banning natural hair discrimination. Since then, laws have also been passed in 13 states, including New York, Maryland, Oregon, and Virginia. Now, to commemorate, July 3rd has been declared National Crown Day to celebrate the Crown Act, which stands for Create a Respectful and Open Workplace for Natural Hair legislation. We invite people to join Project One Voice for hashtag Claim Your Crown Sunday, starting Sunday, May 29th, which is Memorial Day weekend, which is this Sunday, until Sunday, July 3rd. We invite the community at large to share photos of their crowns to their preferred social media platform using hashtag Claim Your Crown Sunday and hashtag Project One Voice. So we're hoping that you join us this Sunday, Memorial Day weekend, for hashtag Claim Your Crown Sunday. We hope that you will post photographs of your fallen loved one who was in the war, or any of the wars, the American wars. Post a photograph of them to your social account using hashtag Claim Your Crown Sunday. So we kick it off on Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully all of you will join us and we will celebrate, commemorate those loved ones that we've lost to American wars. So that is what's happening this weekend. And you can, all the information that I just mentioned to you, you can see on our crawl right below me. It's all in red. It's giving you all the information about the Flea, Black Theater Network, hashtag Claim Your Crown Sunday. Before I leave, we're at about 10 minutes more to this show. I wanted to talk about some of the events that have been going on over the last couple of months as it relates to not only Black theater, but Broadway and sort of things about town. So I wanted to remind everyone that For Color Girls is closing on June 5th. Now, For Color Girls opened in April. It is ending its run very prematurely, but I saw the production a couple of weeks ago. I actually saw it with the original Broadway cast of For Color Girls. We actually went to see the play, and coincidentally, it was the first time that these ladies had been in the Booth Theater since they performed in For Color Girls almost 50 years ago. So For Color Girls is now playing at the Booth Theater, where For Color Girls premiered on September 15th, 1976, which made Ntozake Shange only the second African-American woman to author a play on Broadway. Now, the first was Lorraine Hansberry with A Raisin in the Sun, but Ntozake Shange was only the second. And that was between those two shows, I think there was like a 15 or 17 year span. So it took 17 years for another Black woman to be on Broadway. So we're really, really excited about the revival. We're saddened by the fact that it's closing early, but the legacy of Ntozake Shange will live on for generations to come. This week, last week, I saw A Strange Loop for the second time. Now, I went to see A Strange Loop on opening night. A Strange Loop, by the way, is the Pulitzer Prize winning musical by Michael R. Jackson, a Detroit native, who is now a part of the Times 100 Most Influential People. Now, that news just came out today. I think that's extraordinary that this young man, Michael R. Jackson, yes, he's a young man. He's got these two incredible accolades. I mean, he's got a Pulitzer Prize winning musical that's on Broadway, and he's one of the Time 100 Most Influential People. So please, please, please go see and support Michael R. Jackson and A Strange Loop. And it, by the way, it's the most nominated show for the Tonys this year. I think it has 12 nominations. Also this week, I had the extreme pleasure of seeing Wedding Band at Theater for a New Audience. Now, Wedding Band is one of Alice Childress's many, many works. Many of you know Trouble in Mind, which was on the boards this fall, which is part of the Broadway's Magnificent Seven plays. It starred LaChance and Chuck Cooper and Jessica Francis Dukes, who I love because I'm a huge fan of Ozark. So I'm fanning out about Ozark, but we'll talk about that later. But directed by Charles Randolph Wright at the Roundabout Theater. Wedding Band, I saw that last week at Theater for a New Audience in Brooklyn. It was extraordinary from start to finish. It was directed by Awoye Tempo, who is one of the founders of Classics, which basically celebrates underappreciated and forgotten narratives. They bring them to the fold with full production. So this is part of Classics' mission and why we saw Wedding Band at the Theater for the New Audience. The production was extraordinary. I just cannot say more wonderful things about Alice Childress and Owoye Tempo's work. One of the things that I wanted to mention to people is what's so really incredible about this moment in New York City is you have this converging of three incredible Black female playwrights. In New York City this year, you will have the presence of Ntozake Shange, the presence of Lorraine Hansberry with the Lorraine Hansberry statue that's going to be in Times Square. And we have seen 2 productions of Alice Childress's vast body of work. So these 3 extraordinary Black women all are converging on New York City around the same time. So Hansberry, Shange, and Childress all together at the same time. What I found really interesting about that story is if you know the lore about Trouble in Mind, in 1955, Alice Childress was to bring Trouble in Mind to Broadway. She refused because she refused to change the ending. So it took Trouble in Mind almost 65 years to get back to Broadway. And I am so happy to report that she is now nominated for multiple Tony Awards. So I'm so thrilled about this. And also I think Alice Childress is going to receive the I can't think of the name of the award. I think it's the Harold Prince Award for the drama desk, I think, for this season. But I'm so glad that Alice Childress is finally getting her just due. So lastly, I wanted to talk to you about Macbeth 2022, starring Daniel Craig and Ruth Negga. I saw that opening night, and I was completely in awe of this entire production from start to finish. Daniel Craig is amazing. Ruth Negga is amazing as well. The production is brilliant. Sam Gold is the director. The cast is very diverse. It's an extraordinary cast. It's a new take, a 21st century take on Macbeth, which I hope if you're in New York City, I hope you will attend. And I just found out today that they are about to offer a new $99 seat, a discount, which is going to come out in the coming days. So you can see Macbeth or experience Macbeth with Daniel Craig and Ruth Negga for about $99. So I think we are almost at the end of our hour together. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I hope you tune in for the next installment of Project One Voice Live. But Project One Voice is still dedicated and committed to celebrating the Black experience, all that we bring to the table on every single day of our existence. That is our mission, to celebrate Black creativity and to celebrate the journey, the legacy. So please join us for our events on June 18th, 19th, and 20th. Lastly, I'd like to thank my incredible board for being so supportive and encouraging of me as we embark on this new territory of this Project One Voice Live venture to celebrate Black creativity around the entire country. I love you all, and I thank you all for always going down the rabbit hole with me. It's always fun. And Tony, I want to thank you for joining us. It's our first time working with Tony Lindo. He was an amazing facilitator. He stepped right in and made this happen for us. We're so excited about this. So I think that's it for me. Again, please go to Project One Voice .org for more information about the wonderful work that we do at Project One Voice. All that information is on the crawl below. And I want to leave you with this bit of information. I hope that you are supporting and promoting and engaging with Black theater, Black creativity in your part of the country. If you don't know where Black theater, Black creativity exists in your part of the world, go to the project1voice.org for information about how you can connect with Black theater companies, Black dance companies, Black museums, and I think I missed Black theater companies. I think that's the only thing I did miss. No, HBCUs. So that's it. It's Eric McMillan-McCall, founder and CEO of Project One Voice, saying thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Have a great one. All right, bye-bye. Take us out, Tony. Have a great one.